Okay, Ian, you are up.
Okay, so hopefully everybody's,
We got your plans, yeah?
yes, hopefully everybody's had a chance to look over the minor capital submission. It's very similar document to what I've submitted to you in years past. Although this one is a little bit scaled down, and this is following the direction from the Minister of Education that they limited us to submitting 5 SCP projects every year. We used to continue, we still maintain a massive list. Yeah, so we would have dozens of projects identified. We still maintain that list, but we pick our top 5. So last year was the first year of the reduced submission number, and this year is continuing with that. So the neat thing about this is with Mount Holman and Staffus Elementary, those are the last 2 schools in our district that are in need of a boiler plant upgrade. All the other schools, of the 14 schools, have received boiler plant upgrades since 2015, 2014. So we've been aggressively doing that in the district. So we've got 5 SCP projects identified. 2 of them are the HVAC that are identified as number 1 and 2 for Manitoba and Staffus Elementaries. Then we've got a further targeted roof replacements. We had a number of these huge replacements in last year's plan as well, but we've got Valley Cliff identified this year, and then 2 window projects. And I'm sure everyone's familiar with the situation with windows at Swan Elementary. There's a replacement, so that is also on our list. And if it's not approved this year, it will be moved up depending on what gets approved this year. Under the CNCP program this year, that's the Carbon Neutral Capital program. We continue with the geothermal upgrade to Cameron Secondary. That is also a major HVAC upgrade. And then the second on the CNCP slot is the Whistler Secondary Phase 2 air source heat pump. That should receive a report because received support because we completed in Phase 1 of that project this year. So we're confident in the order here that Whistler should receive the go ahead on that one. PEP is the playground enhancement program, and that is for accessible playground equipment. We have 2 submissions in that program this year again. They're the same as last year. They weren't supported last year, so we're Fairmont Highlands in Valley Cliff, and it is a fund up to $165,000 per project for accessible equipment to be installed in elementary school. And then we have 2 buses included in this year's plan. So we don't know what the actual dollar value is that the ministry supports. They tell us what it is, and it's based on the given price of a bus when they go to buy it. So we've got 2 large buses. They're both rear engine, 84 passenger, what we call picture buses. So they're the plan. So that is the summary of what will be submitted to the ministry to the Whitecaps, and all of the supporting documentation that goes with these is submitted through that plan.
Okay. Any questions for Ian? It's not. That was very easy. Okay, so we are 2 minutes late starting our next meeting, so we have some motions there. Some recommendations.
Oh, sorry, Kim has an approval, is an item for
Oh, the amended?
amendment. You want to just,
Yeah, so this is this relates to the urgent bus replacement request we put to the Minister of Education this year for some buses that didn't pass an inspection due to unknown extreme rust conditions in structural members of the bus framing on the buses. So we submitted an urgent request to the Minister of Education. They have asked that the board submit a board resolution to approve us amending last year's plan to include these buses. So one of the buses on the list was included in last year's plan. It wasn't supported because it hadn't aged out and it had a further inspection that deemed it unrepairable. So that was in last year's plan, and then there's 2 additional buses that were not submitted in the last year's plan. They hadn't reached the age requirement, the violence requirement, and the rust had not been identified at that time. So those are new that will be submitted under last year's plan. So the ministry has asked us to submit a document allowing us to include these in last year's submission. So this gets us ahead of the submission I just spoke about, where if we take the time between now and April before they would announce the replacement buses, this gets us back into last year's plan, which allows us to receive those buses if they're supported by the ministry sooner.
Okay,
So I hope that makes sense. And the ministry's aware of this request, they're aware of these buses, and they are committed to replacing at least one of them. We may get all three, but we don't know what that dollar value would be, so I can't attach the dollar value to this request.
okay. Any questions? Okay, I'm hearing that's nothing, then we have some motions. Or recommendations, I should say.
Okay, the first recommendation, that the finance committee recommends the Board of Education approve the 2023-2024 minor capital plan as presented.
Second.
Okay, we had some about that, but
Oh, sorry. This is first. Drawings first.
does it need to be in order? Okay, so that was C, so we have Cynthia motioned, Rick second, the objections. Or any, all in favor? And that's carried. So we have A,
That the Finance Committee recommends the Board of Education approve the financial statement discussion and analysis document as presented.
thanks, Rick, second. Thank you, Rachel, all those in favor? And carried. B,
The Finance Committee recommends the Board of Education approve the audited financial statements for the year ended June 30th, 2022 as presented.
thank you, Rick, second. Ian, thank you, all in favor? And carried. D,
I'll do that one, then the finance committee recommends the Board of Education approve amendments to the 2023 minor capital plan to include 3 replacement buses by
Second.
thank you. And all in favor? And carried. I don't think we have any public. No questions for clarification from the public. 2:21, we can adjourn. We all turned off now, Harsh?